What is up, my friends? Brant Phillips with Real Estate Fundamentals, and today we're talking about the founder of eXp Realty. His name is Glenn Sanford, and I'm not gonna lie, I've got a businessman crush on this guy. I've had the honor and pleasure of meeting Glenn in person several times, and the reason I'm recording this video right now is really twofold. Actually, it's a lot more folds than that, but two main things is I saw an article on Inman the other day, and the tagline was, "Underneath the soft veneer lies a savvy businessman, an imaginative technologist and a financial whiz, a triumvirate of skills that accounts for his success." And it's true. And the title of the article was eXp Realty CEO Glenn Sanford is the billionaire next door. And so I, coming into this video, I've been with eXp, full disclosure, for 2.5 years. And whenever I saw the eXp business model, I was instantly drawn to it. I mean, why wouldn't I be? If you're a licensed agent or an agent investor like myself, and I'm doing dozens and dozens and dozens of transactions already, I had the option of just pay an agent to do it, run it through a flat fee brokerage, run it through some other brokerage, or go with a brokerage who's going to give me equity in the company, who's going to give me additional revenue streams, all this type of stuff. But the reason I wanted to go over some of the things in this article, and I'll post a link in the comments to share it, because a lot of people don't know about Glenn Sanford, and I've been saying this for quite some time. I'm like, Glenn is going to be, I believe is going to be, up there in the ranks of like your Steve Jobs, so to speak, and your Bezos, and even Elon Musk to a certain extent, because Glenn's got a very unique background, like it kind of mentioned in that tagline that I want to share with, because he's a savvy businessman. He was a real estate agent and broker. He's a tech guy, and he's a financial whiz. I believe his father was in the financial markets, and that's how he learned a lot of what he did with eXp, which he learned originally eXp was just a penny stock on some Canadian stock exchange. But Glenn knew how to play that game. He knew how to really create a value proposition and give agents the opportunity to have stock ownership. Even though years ago it was a laughing stock from other brokerages who were making fun of it because it was a penny stock, didn't have a whole lot of value. But fast forward to today, at the time of this recording, and the stock is going through the roof. It's just amazing. And I just want to share a little bit of the story behind the story. And this is what I know about Glenn. And, I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but I've heard several things over the years. I've kind of piecemealed my narrative and biography of Glenn to how he has become, quote unquote, the billionaire next door. So Glenn's background, like I mentioned, was primarily tech. I was told that he worked at places like Microsoft and AOL. Had that tech background, right? High IQ, very intelligent kind of guy, financially minded as well, and learned online lead generation. Learn digital marketing way back in the day, going back in 80s and 90s, probably more so a little bit more in the 90s, but learning digital marketing right at the very, very beginning of this new frontier. So during that time, Glenn is obviously a very forward thinker. He's launched like the fastest growing real estate brokerage in history, but also being cloud-based, obviously he's pretty forward thinking. And I was told that he tried to launch basically a tech company that was very similar to like a DoorDash type of model. But it was just way too early for its time, but it just kind of shows Glenn's mindset and just forward thinkingness, even way back then. So has said this, I've listened to any interview that I see about Glenn, and I've been doing that for quite some time, that he was broke and needed money and had to pay the bills and things like that, and found his way into real estate. And I don't think he really wanted to go into real estate from what I recall, but he just said, do what you got to do for a little bit, right? And so he started seeing, as he climbed his way up the ranks, so to speak, he focused actually on working with buyers more so than listing appointments, even though I know that was kind of like the Keller Williams model, and a lot of agents did that. He said he liked working with buyers and got very good at that online lead generation thing, finding buyers. So he became successful with that. Left an independent brokerage, went to Keller Williams, and was successful there. Grew a team very, very quickly, tens of millions of dollars in transactions, and got his broker's license and was a franchisee with Keller Williams. And then when the crash came, and I suspect he was thinking about this model long before that, that's where he said, hey, I've got all this brick and mortar, I have all this overhead, and my agents aren't selling real estate like they were selling a year or 2, 3 years ago during the crash. And that's where he really went to the drawing board with, how can we build a better mousetrap? How can we build a truly sustainable business model? And that's how this whole idea of EXP began, when he just went back to the drawing board and said, number one, how can we make this sustainable so that we're not worried when there's a crash or there's a correction? We can actually be ready to figure out how to capitalize on that and help more people. And more so than that, he really went to the drawing board saying, hey, how can we build a brokerage that's focused on helping and serving agents? You may hear that EXP is an agent-owned brokerage. That's because of the stock program. You may hear that it's an agent-centric brokerage. That's because all of our agents are shareholders, like decisions and things like that being made about the company are being influenced by all of the agents who are shareholders in the company. But really, even more so with me, what really resonated with me when I was looking at the EXP business model, I was trained by Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? And whenever I began my financial education, when I was, stuck in that corporate world and just basically broke and had zero financial education, did the Dave Ramsey thing, woohoo, I'm debt free. But then I said, you know what, that got me to this point, but my bank account is still zero. How do I increase that, right? And so I started, reading Rich Dad Poor Dad and other, just anything I could get my hands on by Kiyosaki and other people. And what I learned at a very early stage in my entrepreneurial career was the importance of, number one, building a sustainable business, right? Because if you can't sustain what you have and you make millions and millions or tens of millions of dollars, but you lose it all, what good was that, right? And so, by the way, that's what we talk about on Real Estate Fundamentals. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're interested in learning how to build a sustainable real estate business, hit that subscribe button, and that's the type of content I'm going to be sharing with you. But so let's go beyond sustainability, right? And so that was kind of the first goal, I believe, with the EXP Realty. But then he wanted to make the value proposition just irresistible for agents to, not consider. And so now ties into that Rich Dad Poor Dad conversation, right? So when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, when I read Cash Flow Quadrant, I quickly learned that, the way that we really create wealth and we create financial freedom is we move away from the employee or even small business owner mindset, right? And nothing wrong with those if that's where you're at. I just didn't desire to be in the employee or small business owner quadrant, but I wanted to move over to, or being self-employed, I should say, into being a true business owner with equity, being an investor, a capitalist, and a true business owner, and the BI triangle side of the quadrant, which is being an investor. So that was huge for me. And whenever I saw that EXP was going to be rewarding shares to the company based on production, it was like no-brainer. Equity with this company, right? Equity with EXP, no equity with any other brokerage, anyone that was offering me that. So that kind of was a no-brainer for me because it kind of checked that box. And then even more so was the revenue share, because I also learned very early as an entrepreneur the importance of having multiple income streams. And when I saw the EXP business model, I was like, wow, that is an incredible opportunity where, I have no capital risk, no capital investment, but EXP is going to compensate me just to refer agents to their brokerage. So, man, I'm going to tell you that like I said at the beginning of this thing, I've got so much respect and appreciation for Glenn with what he's built. That is kind of the story behind the story of why this company is growing the way that it is. It's because EXP and what Glenn Sanford has built they're leading with value. They're adding tremendous amounts of value and opportunity to agents. I haven't even gotten into all the things that they do for lead generation, with CRMs, medical benefits, all that kind of stuff. I mean, myself and my wife and I have 5 children. Boom, 5. Yeah, that is not a joke. We have 5 children, so that's a big expense, right? And so whenever EXP launched their medical care program about a year and a half ago, my wife and I switched from our current insurance company, which was like $1,400 a month, and reduced that to about $653 a month. Exactly $653 a month. I know because I see that ACH each month. So not only was it better for us, but it was saving us money. Now, other reasons I'm sharing this is, like I said, this was all birthed from this Inman article. So I encourage you to read it. Do as much digging if you're a real estate agent and you're looking for information, just seeing what's going on, whatever it may be. But there's kind of a story behind the story, and I think they've done a good job of telling just briefly a little bit about Glenn Sanford. But he is an amazing entrepreneur. He is truly the billionaire next door. He's just down to earth. He's got a big vision and a big heart, and I think that's one of the main reasons why you're seeing EXP is growing the way that it is, because he has truly built an amazing company with culture, with benefits, with value, and it's blowing up right now. So I just want to share my 2 cents on Glenn, what my experience has been with EXP Realty. So if you got some value from this video, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. If you have questions about EXP or just questions about how to build a more sustainable real estate business, whether you're investing in rentals, flipping properties. We're buying mobile home parks these days. We do owner finance notes. We actually have some small commercial property as well that I'm here to help. I appreciate your comments. Hit me up if you've got questions. I like to use those questions at times to create content for the show. So once again, thanks again, Brant Phillips, Real Estate Fundamentals. You guys take care.